Games Workshop has not disappointed me on Horus Heresy Day for Warhammer Fest 2022. Let's talk about everything they revealed. We begin with a reveal of the full starter box that we're getting for the new Horus Heresy. Now, we've seen all of the models in this box already, of course, but we now know a couple of key important things. One, we know that the rulebook has a very cool cover and I like the design of it. We also get to see all of those cool blast templates and whippy sticks back, which I am super excited for. Although, has anybody ever actually used those whippy sticks? Not to just like whack each other with, but actually like in the game like proper? Because I don't know anybody that has. But the most important thing that we learned at this reveal for this box is the date it's coming. And it's going to be out as early as June, which is really cool actually. I was expecting us to have to wait closer to the holiday season potentially for this, but the fact that they're getting out for a summer release is fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, so we've learned what's in the starter set, but what else is going to be coming out for the new Horus Heresy game? Well, we have a couple of books and also some new models. First, let's talk about the books. We've got two army books coming out, one called Liber Astartes and the other Liber Hereticus. And as they might imply with their names, one is for your Loyalist Marines and the other is for your Heresy ones. I'm very excited. I'm probably going to end up getting both books because I'm probably going to want to run both Loyalists and Heretics. And so I'm just going to have to collect both. But we don't want to talk just about books. We want to talk about some cool new models. Now we know that we're getting the Beaky Boys in the core box for the starter set, but they also are coming in an individual tactical squad that comes with 20 Marines in it. But if you're one of those people who are like, man, I really wish they would give us some Mark IV or some of the Mark III models back in plastic, well, they've got you covered because we're getting both boxes, also with 20 men in them and lots of options. This is really cool to see. I like GW actually giving us a lot of variety and options for the older era Mark armor sets, as opposed to just sticking with just the Beakies. As much as I love them, I think it's cool to see the variety.
Bring forth the Thunder Warriors!
That would be rad. Oh my god, I would love to see the Thunder Warriors come back or be existing at all.
I don't think there's ever been a miniature.
Yeah, I don't know if there has been, but that would be so cool. Imagine if they went that far. I don't know if they will, but it is still cool to see options. So anybody that was wanting those other Mark armors, you can have them now. Now, we also got to see the return of two models from the Burning of Prospero box that released a couple of years ago. And personally, I'm very excited for at least one of them because we're getting Gygor Fellhand, which is a nice Space Wolf lad. He's great, but I care about Ahriman, man. We're getting an Ahriman pre-Heresy, and I want it. I missed that box set. I wasn't really collecting at the time, I think, when it came out. So I never got a hold of that, and I don't think I ever really looked for him online because I just assumed it'd be hard to find. So the fact that we're getting him back, and I can actually buy Ahriman pre-Heresy, I'm pumped for that. I'm very excited. It's that time of the video where I interrupt to tell you about my Patreon and to let you know that we just added a Discord server which all tiers get access to. So if you're wanting a way to chat with me, share with me your projects, or just tell me what board games you're playing, definitely make sure to check the link below and check out my Patreon. you worried that you weren't going to have enough weapon options for your tactical squads in this game? Because GW has heard you and gone, don't worry, we're giving you all of the weapons. There are a number of really cool upgrade sprues that are going to be releasing that cover the special weapons, like melta guns, plasma guns, flamers, etc., that kind of stuff. Then you've got 3 different heavy weapons upgrade sets. There's a lot of really cool variety in all of these, and I think they group them pretty well, but my favorite is the one that comes with the missile launcher. I don't know, there's something about the shape and design of that particular missile launcher. I just think it looks so rad, and I think it's very reminiscent of my Death Guard. Actually, I run a lot of missile launchers. Like I run 2 missile launchers in my Space Marine squads. So I think it's just that tie-in, but I love it. I'm really excited for these upgrade sprues. I think they're going to be massively in high demand, meaning I don't know if they're going to end up being like really difficult to get a hold of at the beginning, or if they're just going to be ridiculously plentiful and everybody will be able to get some. I'm hoping there's not massive shortages, but
I'm concerned about price myself.
That is also a huge thing.
Just to like point out, like the heavy weapons box that has the rocket launcher. If I recall, it's a rocket launcher and heavy bolter.
Yes,
set.
that is
the
only 2 weapons
right?
in it.
We get 10 of each.
Yep,
which
you
is
do get 10 of each.
But like, what would you pay for that box?
No.
My concern is they're going to charge $40.
See, I really don't feel like I would want to pay more than like 25 at most, and that's pushing it. But I'm trying to account for like inflation
like
and stuff.
With a special weapons box where you get 60, I'm like, okay, I would be happy to give you. I'd be happy to give you 20, of course.
Yes.
30 seems
reasonable.
$30 for 60 weapons.
Yeah.
For the boxes that only have 20 weapons, anything more than 20 or with Games Workshop tax, $25 is. I mean, it's just the guns. It's nothing else.
Yeah, that is the concern here with the upgrade sprues.
Otherwise, I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, it's such a thing because, like, yes, I am very hyped to see all of the options, but I do think the price is a major concern, and I'm hoping that GW is maybe a little bit more thoughtful with the upgrade sprue prices in comparison to, say, the 20-man tactical squads that you would get normally, which are probably going to come with some of these options, just not 10 of each option.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably going to give you like half of it, making you maybe need to buy these if you really want to run like a full squad of just, plasma guns or melta guns or something like that. But like, I'm hoping the price isn't too much of a stinker. Games Workshop also announced 2 brand new tanks coming to the Horus Heresy game. Well, I guess they're not brand new. Technically, we've seen them before, but they're plastic, so yay! The first of which is the Deimos pattern Rhino. Now, I'm actually very excited to see this because I personally really like the classic Rhinos. I just think the shape of them is really fun. I mean, it's basically a box. It's really just basically a box, but I don't know, there's just something very charming to that. I also love the options that it comes with the various weapons that the one Marine that's sticking out the top can hold, or having the heavy bolters. Like, I actually love seeing a little bit of extra variety there, and I assume there will be other bits and stuff that maybe you can add or change on it depending on whether or not you want it to be a heretical Rhino or a loyalist Rhino. Now, the other tank that we need to talk about is the Kratos Heavy Assault Tank. Now, this is probably my favorite of all of the tanks that we've gotten to see so far. The Rhino's cool, but this Kratos tank, the shape of it just delights me. It makes me smile every time I see it. Plus, there are a lot of more options that they show that this particular tank has, including a massive, like, dozer blade. And for some reason, I just love this thing. I think it's because, like, when I first got into the game, I think I saw a variety of, I don't know if they were Loyalist or Chaos. I want to say they might have been Chaos because I think it was more of a thing that the Chaos in 5th edition kind of held onto, was having those big dozer blades on the fronts of their tanks.
You got in 5th edition and all of the Chaos players were still running their Rhinos from 2nd and 3rd.
Ah, okay, is that what it was? So
yes, and the Space Marines had recently gotten an upgrade to their Rhino.
Okay, so there was like a really distinct difference that I remember, and I always loved the look of the dozer tanks, even though I was running a Loyalist chapter. So like, I'm just excited to see that come back, and so that I can put it on either of the tanks and still have it work and still be on theme and like correct for the era and everything. I think that's a really nice touch, and I love seeing these options. All right, and last but not least, we do have some Black Library novels to cover. We have a couple coming out. We've got Lupercal's War, which is an anthology featuring a number of, actually 21 different stories from a number of the prominent Horus Heresy authors, including Dan Abnett, Graham McNeil, and John French. We also have a book called, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, so I'm sorry, Thonian's Reckoning? I think the C is silent. I think it's Thonian's Reckoning, which is another anthology book set in the Horus Heresy era, but it's brand new lore. And it's supposed to be taking us to the home planet of Horus and see what's going on there while he's away on Terra, which I think is really cool because based on the cover of it, it looks like it's going to be covering the Imperial Fist maybe invading, or at least trying to take over or something, because you see the two Praetorians, or the Praetors, that we're getting in the Horus Heresy box, I believe, on the cover of this novel. So I think that's a really cool tie-in to the release of the game. And I also think it's rad that we're finally getting new lore to actually continue that story and finally, like, I mean, I know we kind of know where it ends, I guess, but like...
One day the Siege of Terra will end.
Exactly. But like, it's cool to actually see it progress and move forward and not just stagnate in time forever and ever. Now, the last book that we need to talk about specifically focuses on Rogal Dorn because it is the Emperor's Crusader. Father.
Fucking cut it out.
I love that. It's so good. This is the next series in the book of Horus Heresy books focusing on the Primarchs. And honestly, I might pick this one up. I really do like Dorn. He's one of my favorite Primarchs. I mean, I do run his sons, so it makes sense. I'll probably grab this one. Oh my God, that has been Warhammer Fest 2022. There was a lot that we got to take a look at. I think overall, my personal feelings about the event this year were, I'm pretty satisfied. There were some things that were kind of a letdown and or just, they focused maybe on a little bit too much. I still continue to hate to see all of the rules bloat with all of these excess rule books that we really don't need, immediately invalidating stuff that they've already produced. But on the other hand, I do think the quality of the models we got to see this year was pretty top. Everything seemed really well thought out, and honestly, I'm really liking the designs. Plus, seeing the actual return to Horus Heresy and getting all of that new content, I'm loving everything about it so far. Like the graphic design of everything that they're producing for it, the tone of it all, the models look really cool. I think that has just kind of made the whole thing feel like a big highlight to me, even though there were some letdowns. Now, before I head out, I do want to give a huge thank you to my patrons, and thank you guys just for helping us make content like this. Without you, we wouldn't be doing it. But before I head out, I wanted to talk about this box that I have here because the Inquisition have sent me a gift, and on Monday I will be unboxing the contents of it to share with you what they sent. Make sure you join me and hit like, subscribe so you can continue to get Warhammer coverage, other tabletop gaming coverage, and of course we'll be getting back to some painting tutorials soon, so be looking forward to that. I have been Angela, and I hope you have a wonderful hobby night.